Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Krishna Rama Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Ram Ram Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Rama Ram Krishna Krishna Ram Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Krishna Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare
a Durga temple in Dwaraka. I remember the first time I visited Radhakund, and the first deity that of all places, at Radhakund. Forms at Radhakund, then I could understand why the temple of Lord Shiva. Another time, we visited Vangshivat. Letting unqualified people facilitating qualified people to enter. There's a temple of Lord Shiva right near the temple, and in fact, the rasa dance area. It's a service that Lord Shiva does, and if you get his blessings, then you can enter. And not just the oil part, but the other part. That she's doing to Krishna. I think it was yesterday that we heard when Krishna was accused falsely a jewel. With some village elders searching for the Shamantaka. Then they found the dead lion. While the elders stayed outside the cave and they waited for John's cave, which we're going to visit. There won't be a dead lion outside the cave, don't worry. Maybe Krishna was killed and somehow inside the cave. Of course, others Krishna is in danger. Speculated role reversal. They were in difficulty, they'd call out, Krishna, please help. And Krishna would come. They're ready to give up their lives. Last time, Balaram wasn't there. He stayed home for some reason. The cowherd boys saw Krishna in the coils of the Kaliya serpent. One of them ran. He's in the coils of the Kaliya serpent. I'll take care of that serpent. Mother DeSoto, you can stay here. Too. Balaram just smiled. He wasn't worried at all. He just, Krishna's having fun. To see Krishna. As for the residents of Dwaraka, Krishna is their life and soul. So they decided to give up their lives. They started running for the river Jamuna. Balaram stops you. You can't do something. Couldn't enter. They were going to expire, give up their lives. Got his body bigger and Mahima Siddhi. And then Mahima, he became very small. It's easily got him, but he was swimming so fast, Kaliya couldn't bite him. Kaliya got dizzy. So similarly in Dwaraka, "28 days, that's a whole month, 28 days passed, 4 weeks. A temple, which we're going to visit after lunch, and they all of that to one thing. Please bring Krishna. Krishna's mother. About the killing of Kuvalyapida and all the others. She heard. But she's mother. Such motherly affection. Bring Krishna back. As soon as she finished her prayers, right on cue, Krishna came. mentioned this, that our acharyas say, well, two things specific to this. Is everything. Well, Durga, not the demigoddess Durga. We mentioned some acharyas say, because they were pure devotees, because internal potency acts, if she Brahma Samhita, speaking about the position of Durga in relation the original feature of Krishna in Goloka is Govinda, not the other Govinda. So Maya. Shakti. He's the, along with being the guna avatar in Shakti. Shrishti. Then Stiti means maintenance. Sadhana, we know well, she's the agency of Lord Shiva, both of whom, Lord Shiva and potency through which he acts for destruction. And time destroys. But time potency at her disposal to bring things into being and to destroy things. Eka. Eka means one. So she has the potency, or she's empowered to do these three things. Chaya means shadow or reflection. Read in the Bhagavatam, Prabhupada's purport of the first verses of the Bhagavatam, and he speaks has no substance, although it may look like the object. In fact, just turn category. It's very similar. Language is slightly different, but it's the absolute truth. Matter is not everything and the source of everything. Modern science matter, and there isn't anything else. Everything can be explained by matter and the laws governing matter. Well, where did matter come from? Didn't come from any place. It's eternal. It's all there is matter, and the laws that govern matter. There ain't nothing else. And the laws that govern matter, and that's all there is. Okay, you get an A in your the shadow. It's now you see it, now you don't. It's a shadow of substance. That's the absolute truth, creates the that. Chayeva yasha bhuvananvi bharti Durga. Potency. So there's these three categories. This is us, the marginal potency. So Durga is in the internal potency, and then there's us. We're either influenced by this one or that one. This, in the field of the material energy, carrots, is the illusory energy. Of the spiritual potency or chit potency is worshipped by all people as but there's the material and there's the spiritual. So this is speaking. Yeah. Will, Govinda's will, Durga conducts herself. The whole of the Vedas is the effect of the original cause. What's the engineering, electric? Well, there's a cause of that effect. Saha, that. It's a pronoun. It's a person, and his name is Krishna. And then gives the answer. The cause is Krishna. Sarva Karana Karanam. So the Brahma bringing things into being, material creation. With the time back to creation. How does she get there's little ones and there's big ones. And Govinda. There's one thing. There's Mahavira. Devi, just like Narayan. Queens. The potent has potency. Maybe you haven't noticed, but next time you in the state of yoga nidra, nidra means sleep. Does Krishna sleep? Times with his Rama potency within and enjoying according to he has this eternal relationship of potent and potency. Eternal pastimes with this internal potency, but then limited, some finite number, but so many we say unlimited living entities. Passionate desire, number one, and compassionate desire, number two. My abdomen, I wish that they would have unlimited happiness. Dormant consciousness is so suppressed it's not even being manifest. She understands the icha, the desire of her husband. He sees at a distance. Rama and I are enjoying within distance. She wants to do some service. He just desires. Rama Devi understands. That's how expert she is in serving Mahavishnu. So she Durga in the unmanifest state and takes on and zoom, zoom, there go the living entities. The combination of the living entities along becomes agitated and activated by the time energy. So this Durga or Chaya Devi ideally restoring their original happiness, because separately from Krishna is not going to happen. Happiness. Principles of Dharma, the elevation of consciousness to the point of elevated or it can happen some prior stage, even if one is not very elevated in consciousness. But a Bhakti Devi Ki Jai. Who's she? She's an expanded Bhakti. We can fulfill the purpose that Mahavishnu wanted or that Krishna wanted. Function according to Brahma Samhita of Durga. She's a sister. They kind of said no instead of yes, or never even got, at least in this lifetime, the opportunity. Short purport in Bhakti. That's where Durga resides. Consists of the 14 worlds. So planetary systems. In more detail, there's 7 upper, 7 is the presiding deity of that place. Bhaktisiddhanta, elsewhere he lists them. But she's in charge of people who want to enjoy. Prowess, very powerful. Watch out, here comes Devi, riding. Without the full Puranic story, Mahishasura is a terrible the seducer of vices. She has 2 sons. In dharmic life, and Kartikeya and he's particularly very beautiful, and he's a very powerful warrior. Posters in India have lots of these images where there's 3 goddesses and on one side so persons that worship Lakshmi for material opulence, that's what they worship. She's over on this side. Knowledge. She has 20 weapons. Suppression of vices. So if you are an individual that from Narada Muni, you just have to do one thing. Worship the spiritual master and take care of the whole. Which is the beauty of destructive. Is possessed of Durga, which means a prison house. When jivas who are of this margin service to Krishna, they're placed in the Brahma Samhita's description of the relationship between Durga of this world and scriptural reference. Many of you who know Srimad Bhagavatam a little Vyasadeva sat in trance and he had a vision in trance and he saw because you can't see Krishna if she's in front of him. That's what happens with And our acharyas say, they refer to a later verse in Canto 2, she feels ashamed because she knows to bring them closer to him. Covers them with the illusory conception of I and mine. Prabhupada liked that word, nonsense. Filled with I and mine. She's just doing a service. She's bring them to him. She nevertheless must do her duty to keep them for this she is ashamed. So what's the solution? Gita, and to give information instead of uninformed or misinformation. Commenting on that same verse, Canto 2, Chapter 5, Prabhupada writes, listen. You cannot get rid of the subtle body. Comes in contact with self-realized soul. Durga herself then becomes the agency of their deliverance. Govinda wants. That's what Mahavishnu wants. That's what the Lord and Master wants. Anybody lost so far? This is polemical, and another way for those that are favorable to Krishna. The first 6 sons of Devaki were killed by her dear brother. Child number 7 internal potency. Remember, there's three: internal, external. Then he gave her a series of things. First, transfer this child that's in the Rohini, Nandana, the son of Rohini, although what is it? You take and I'm going to appear as the eighth child of Devaki, and I'm going to take Vasudeva to transfer me to the other side of the river Jamuna, place me and try to kill you. Okay, you ready for that one? Because he's a silly man. He'll try. One person, Yogamaya, is Yogamaya, Yogamaya. The facilitator of their material desires. So they approach So when they worship Candrabhaga, they're worshiping the Yogamaya aspect, or the reflection of the apple. There's the spiritual Durga, and there's there may be, a goddess of matter, but that's all there is. Swami goes on in his explaining this in Brahma Samhita. Just like yes. Jiva Goswami explains that same Swaha Ha means, Swa means oneself, and Ha means submission. Submission. Radharani, or the spiritual Durga. That's what Jiva Goswami says. Enough philosophy at one time. We're all used to stories. One said, I like the stories. I asked, do you understand the stories? No. chapter 1 of Canto 10. Because this dialogue between Krishna and Durga is non-different from Yogamaya. Immediately liberated. For Durga, very easily. And then there's the but. Covering of Yogamaya, and she is therefore called the covering. Those of you that haven't gone, may Krishna be kind upon you. Is addition to the deity in Mayapur. There's another very important deity in Simanta Dweep. There's 9 islands. enter into another of the dvipas or islands called Simanta Dweep. And she'll wear red kunkum in the part of her hair, so others will know. On the same parcel of land towards the back, there's a and Bhaktivinoda Thakur describes the past here, Durga and Yogamaya and Krishna. Now, Durga was engaged in chanting very loudly the name of Gauranga. And when you go man, Parvati was amazed. She knew he liked it. Can I just interrupt your ecstasy for a moment and find out who this Gauranga is? I don't mind the service, but I want your darshan. But I never get your darshan because crying. My energy, you are not separate or different from me. Within the spiritual kingdom, my original energy has one form as Radha. In the reflection form, in other words, as you. Without you, Vraja, you are eternally present. She's Yogamaya. She arranges Krishna's pastimes. Same function in Navadvip is arranging pastimes of Mahaprabhu. The protector, Palana Shakti, protecting potency. For a moment, let's go deep. One potency. Prabhupada says, really simple. So, at one potency, Yogamaya, Shukadev Goswami refers to creation as a pastime. The agency of his potencies, and Durga is that potency through which Shrishti still almost done. Almost. Bhagavad Gita is the undergraduate study. Bhagavatam is the graduate study. Reference is made to Madhvacharya. Line of disciplic succession. He established a whole So we're in Madhvacharya's line. Madhvacharya wrote comments. There's a verse that discusses material nature. 4.6. Prakriti, separated energy, 8 in number, earth, water, I'm going slowly because it's a little technical. That external What are those 3 divisions, please? Sri Bhu and Nila. Problem. But then there's the material counterpart, Sri Bhu and Nila. Because such energies are created, energies, on Chaitanya Charitamrita commentary goes on explaining the Srishti Sthiti Pralaya, function of the mode of goodness Puranas. The eternally auspicious abode Nila, that's in the spiritual realm. Jiva goes the potency of supersoul in combination of which is Durga. Acts in relation with his personal affairs, and the material potency manifests the 3 modes. Jiva Goswami points to revealed scriptures which says that Shri energy that manifests the material creation, and Nila beings, and thus they are together called Jiva Maya. Tattva. We want to understand the truths about Krishna. Bhaga, deity of Durga. So we want to understand Krishna Tattva. Why are they worshipping? Which has a material counterpart that has a certain function in material. Okay, so one more verse. is Sri Rupa's voice. And those are the rest of you, you can just enjoy. Agyanoksadjam avyayam lalakshase mudha drisha. Beyond the range of limited, this is Kunti. Irreproachable factor, covered by the curtain of diluting energy. As a player is not recognized. This is his diluting potency, power of illusion. Example in the Vedas is given the rope and the snake. That's Maya. We feel different feelings: lust, anger, fear. However, there's the spiritual aspect of that same potency. Has to do with the gopis who wanted to marry Krishna. For 1 month, during the month of Magh, which is the cold, they go to the bank of the river Jamuna, and those that have been to Vrindavan in the winter know what it's like, which is a name of Durga, and then they enter into the river Jamuna up to their neck. They do that for a month. So the non-envious gopis and dressed her very nicely in nice clothing and offered the following world. Several girls wanting to marry the same guy, and they know it, and they're not envious. Young unmarried gopis performed her worship, chanting the following mantra: "Oh, power and mighty controller of all, please make the..." And they all chanted the same mantra together. They're all asking ensemble for the same. The slide that's missing. The slide that's missing is the commentary by Vishwanath Chakravarti. I'll just say it in simple language. The detail is very nice, but this to Krishna. So the commentary says it's a discussion between Shruti, when the gopis were worshipping Katyayani, it's the internal potency, because the internal great devotees like the gopis or the residents of Dwaraka are worshipping the Durga. And they want the happiness of Krishna. That's the internal potency. When there's some deity like that, went to the temple, it was a deity of Durga. Manas, propitiating the deity of the internal potency. Pure devotees of Krishna have anything to do with okay. Somebody would like to raise some question out of all the zillion things that you... Chaitanya?
She will act as Durga. Material act as internal potency. Because of our
Yeah.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Um, the 108 wives of Krishna. As
Like a sneak preview. At the end of stay tuned. Hit the pause button.
Missed the DT of
From him, he made the arrangement. He under his rule as the emperor. So as some deity in Vrindavan, some deity in Mathura, some deity in Dwaraka. Constructed and so many things. And we heard
is there anything in relation to Maharaj, Lord?
now, I don't know how to match together, if that's what you're asking. Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, I was just wondering.
Very similar to his question. The Lord shows himself Skanda Purana text. Those that have a different kind of faith, a faith in the Trivikram.
Krishna's palace And in terms of where we are now, more on the coast,
where the sea was at that time and where the sea is today, could very well be different. And the temple for Krishna said something. This is where Krishna's temple was. Geographically. Yes. Excuse me. Some of you from South India know where Ahovalam is. And India, and one of the places they went to Ahovalam was Ahovalam. And then they reported their this place is where Lord Nrsingadev appeared. But according to the Bhagavatam, and where Lord Nrsingadev appeared was there, not in Ahovalam. Hear this or that answer. He said that the worship just said it's non-different, or something to that effect. So similarly,
a friend or a lover or a child.
Dwaraka was his chariot driver. Well, here, Krishna there's one example, very nice example. Narada Narasanda has imprisoned 20,000 kings, and you're being your dear devotee. Turn to Uddhava. I'm being asked to do this and do that. Which should I do? Or which should come first? Uddhava. Finish him first. Then do the Rajasuya. Krishna said, very good. Let's do that. Advisors and ministers. Apparently contradictory nature, but there's other feelings that we Ayodhya, and even more so in Dwaraka, and even more so in Mathura, and even more. Message I've been saying of it's an ocean of rasa, and when rasa is very strong, it and there's different ways of that, like this example we heard this morning of not. People don't have love for Krishna, and they need these instructions in order to elevate themselves. There's different relationships with different persons who understand in different ways. Very special position of the residents of Vrindavan. So, if that's the case, why? As part of Krishna, tattva. And same with going to the Chandrabhaga. So, and how was praying is different than how the gopis were praying. Division in her love between the majesty and this being. It's rasa.
Maharaj, for your enlivening lectures. I had good, very good planet.
You want to go to Vaikuntha?
No, I am asking. So how can a devotee go to Golok Dham? Because we don't have that.
From Vaikuntha, can you go to Goloka? Is that your question?
Yes.
static, it's ecstatic. This was Tamal Krishna Maharaj. In order to go from this type of love to that type of love, it takes association. Because she had a certain mood of love towards Narayana, which meant how she mercy of the residents of Vrindavan, one can enter. So if you're in Vaikuntha, last question over here.
Maya is the internal potency of Krishna. This Yoga Maya is Durga, is that right?
But just to qualify your question, there's
And does Durga has ability
or anybody to do anything. And through the agency of his internal potency, he grants while you're properly engaged in devotional service, just don't become careless. Potency if you do that. So it's qualified in other position. I'll say it again. Corresponding to the degree of Okay, I think that's it for questions. Let's have a little kirtan, if that's all right.